Hello, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to do the increase on the Amigurumi magic circle or magic ring. Sometimes it's referred to slightly differently in different videos or different patterns. So as you can see, I have my 5mm crochet hook, but you will just use whichever hook size goes with the yarn that you're using. I'm using this We Are Knitters the cotton, and I'm using the yellow today. They're really lovely cottons, really soft, really nice for amigurumi, which is what I'm doing today, of course. So, nice bright colour for you to see on camera. I have got a video on how to do the magic ring, but of course I will show you again now as well. But if you want to see it in more detail, please do go back to the previous video. So you wrap around the finger, make that cross, pick up this piece here and move it to the side, pick up this piece, sorry my hook's in the way, and then you're going to put your hook into that loop that you've just pulled up, but you're going to pull that back down again, wrap your hook around that piece and just pull through the centre there of those two strands. Okay, take it off your finger. Again, I did show this in my previous video, but this is just how you start the magic ring. Just a quick thing to note before I carry on, amigurumi increases tend to, the majority of time, work in sixes, okay? So you need your 6 times tables. You will be an expert in your 6 times tables if you're not now, all right? So we're going to be doing sixes. So the first round is going to be 6 stitches. So this is, like once again I said, it's all on my previous video, but I'll show you again now. So you go into the middle of the ring, pull up that loop, bring it in, make it nice and not tight but nice and sort of secure on there. Wrap the yarn around your hook and pull it through both of those loops. Okay, so that's 1. Back into the loop again. Remember, you're going under both of these, including this little tail here. It'll become clear in a second why we leave this tail, if you don't know already. Pull it up, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, okay? And you can sort of identify the stitches because they're like little V's. So there we've got 1 stitch, 2 stitch. Let's carry on. Into the ring, pull up a loop, yarn over, go through both of those loops. Okay, just once more. 1V, 2V, 3V. And you'll need to see those when you're counting your stitches, which can happen sometimes if you lose count or if you don't feel like counting or if somebody starts talking to you while you're crocheting. You can go back if you lose count and just count these V's, okay? So another one, into the ring, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through both stitches, both loops. Okay, into the ring, yarn over, pull through. Okay, how many have we got now? 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so 1 more. That's 6. So like I said, most patterns will call for 6s, okay, so increases by the 6 times table, all right? So now we've got this tail here. What you're going to do, if you've done it correctly, so if you've crocheted over the top of it, you should be able to pull and watch that come together. Okay, so the next round is going to be the first of our increases, okay? So what we need to do is find our first stitch. So we look for the next stitch along because we're working in the round. That's obviously not a stitch. We want to find that V. So there we have the V. So what you're going to do is you're going to put your hook in and you're going to go under both stitches of that V. Normally the first one is the hardest one to get because it's a little bit stiff. But if you look there, I've got those 2 stitches now on my hook. So now I can grab some yarn here with the hooky bit of my crochet hook, pull it through, okay, two loops, yarn over again and pull it through both of those loops. So the first round is going to be an increase round, like I said, but the first round you're just trying to double your stitches, okay? So that means you need to put 2 stitches, 2 single crochets in US terminology, or double crochet in English terminology, into each stitch, okay? And the best way to keep count, well, is to count. So I've already done 1 and I need to double 6, which means I need to get to 12. So I'm going to do another one in there, so just under the 2 V's, under the V, sorry, pull it up, yarn over and go into those 2 loops there. Okay, so now I've got 2 in the first stitch, I want to have 2 in my second V, okay? So you can see there's a gap in there underneath underneath the V. Okay, so single crochet US, double crochet British, okay, so I've got 3 now. It's easier, the way that I like to do it is I like to count all the stitches, so I know I've got to get to 12 at the end of this round, and I know that I'm going to have an even number in each. Okay, so 3, same stitch for 4, next stitch, 5, same stitch, 6, next stitch, 7, same stitch, 8, and you can pull on your tail at any point if you see the hole getting bigger, and that should close it up for you, see? Next stitch, 9, same stitch, 10, final stitch, 11, and same again, 12, okay? So in that round, I've increased just by doubling up, okay? The next round, you're going to get to a count of 18, okay? So that means we need 3 times 6. So what that means is we're going to be doing an increase into every other stitch this time, okay? So you're going to start with, oh, why my tail? You're going to start with the first stitch. Now different patterns will ask for different things, and sometimes it can create different shapes, but I always do it the same way no matter what the pattern says. I always start with my increase just because that helps me to remember, and it helps me with the sort of the counting in the times tables, but that's really up to you and what works well for you. So I'm going to do an increase then in my first stitch, so that means I'm going to do 2 stitches, so 1, 2, both in the same stitch. Now I know I need to get to the next stitch, and I'm just going to do 1 single crochet in the next stitch. That's 3 in terms of my overall stitch count, okay? So you're working in 3s if you like, if that helps you. So you're doing 6 lots of 3s. That means 6 lots of increase and 1 single crochet, okay? So 3, 4, 5 in the same stitch. Yeah, I did those 2 in the same stitch. Then 6 on its own. Then 7, 8 in the same stitch, and 9 on its own. Okay. Then 10, 11 in the next stitch, so that's 2 in the next stitch, 10, 11, and 12 on its own. Just see how I'm going under those 2 V's. And there we are. That's 12, 13, 14 together, 15 on its own, 16, 17 together, and 18 on its own, and then we've got to our stitch count for that round, so we needed 18. Then the next round will go up again, so this time you will want the next, add 6 onto that, so you will want 24 stitches. So you're going to do 2, as in 1 increase, so that's 2 single crochet into 1 stitch, and then 1 single crochet into the next 2 stitches, 2 single crochets into the next one, 1, 2 on their own, and you're counting up to 24 this time. So this time it's kind of like you're going up in 4s, okay? So whereas before we were up in 3s, now we're up in 4s, okay? So I'll show you that. 1, 2 together, 3 and 4 on their own, 5 and 6 together, 7 and 8 on their own, 9, 10 together, 11 and 12 on their own, and you would just carry on like that. So like I said, that's the way that works well for me, just because it means I can keep count, and also the counting is quite therapeutic. I'm not like a maths whiz or anything. It's not like I love the times tables. It's just for some reason that's the way that works for me for the counting, whatever it is. Some people, the way they like to do it is put in a stitch marker, which is normally just a piece of plastic, a little plastic clip. You can even use a hairpin and just stick it into the stitch, and then that way you can just count up in, do you see how we were doing it in 3s before, or 4s this time, and then you can just count in sets of 4. So I'll just show you what that looks like, if that's something you might prefer. So you would have put your stitch marker there, and then you would do 1, 2, so you know you've got your increase, and then 1 on its own, and 1 on its own. Okay, so you're not counting the 4, you're not counting the times tables this time, you're just counting the number of stitches. So you know in your head I've got to do 1 increase and then 2 on their own. And because that's quite a lot for you to think about, you can't also count at the same time. But like I said, it's completely up to you the way you do it. This is just my preferred method. So what's nice about the magic ring is you get that circle, and if you keep increasing, it'll just get bigger and bigger and bigger, and you can just keep going. You can just keep going. You've probably seen, or you might not have done, but there are some giant amigurumis that you can make just by continuing to increase. And you can use 8 times tables. You could even use the 4 times tables, depending how tiny you want that increase to be and how little you want those stitches to be. The majority of the time you're going to be using 6 times tables, so 6 increase, okay? So that's the way I've chosen to show you that one. If you have any questions, is there anything I haven't covered that you'd like to know, please leave me some questions below and I will answer them for you. Otherwise, look out for more videos to come. Thank you, bye.